Guys, hello. Hope everyone is doing good. Today we got our guy, our friend Oro. He is a crypto entrepreneur. Last time we featured David because of this podcast, and his experience was very interesting. It was more like towards developers that want to make it in Web3 and how he made it in Web3 as a developer and an entrepreneur. Today we're gonna look at the profile of Oro. He told me behind in the backstage that he was about to drop some alpha, some sauce. So I hope that you guys are ready. Oro, do you want to say hi?
Gentlemen, to the audience, hello everyone, how's it going?
David, basically, so David is kind of like waking up. He's still like he's like freezing. He's not yet ready, but we're gonna get him in the pod, guys. Don't worry. David, do you want to say
Yeah,
hi?
we're gonna warm this up and we're gonna rock on.
We're gonna give you some warm up, brother.
Yeah.
Let-
Okay.
Let's go. That's IFG.
I love it, bro. Hey, guys, let's look at this video whenever it's gonna be the bull run. I'm sure David is gonna have like a different kind of, vibe. That's what I mean. But anyways, so Oro. So basically, I know that you are a crypto entrepreneur. Before we worked not directly together, but indirectly together. I had like a project called 1000 True Fans with a business associates, and you were like plugged in and helping us through my business associates. And thank you very much for that. Lately David told me that he was connecting with you, and I was like, bro, we need to bring him there. So can you give us a summary of like your profile, how you ended up being a crypto entrepreneur, and present yourself a little bit? Then I'm gonna take some notes and go back to like the juice and try to dig in, what was this motivation, what was the why that made you come and helped you become a crypto entrepreneur.
Sure. I'm not gonna do this boring introduction like everyone is doing, so I'm gonna be really, really short, and the story will be really, really cool. I got introduced into Bitcoin back in 2011 because darknet, all those kind of stuff, drugs, and all this shit. And the thing is, everyone was saying, "Yo, this currency is useless, so you need to just get rid of it." So I did not touch it, and I got rid of it, and I got introduced back in 2016, where I discovered Ethereum, bought some Ethereum with an intern salary, so it's not a lot, and I've sold 50% of it during the bull run of 2017, and I forgot the 50 of a percent. And then I discovered back the Web3 in 2020 during the lockdowns, where I tried to dig, I tried to understand also where I was navigating all my money to. And I remember that I had this Ethereum thing. So I dig into it, read the white paper, and I discovered this word that is called smart contract. And when I made some research around it, I was like, oh shit, this can like solve a lot of problems, and this can like remove all this middle tier that the world and the society are currently controlling, with all this middle tier and that are earning a lot of money just by controlling two individuals for a transaction. So I got addicted to it. I went on Twitter, and then everything started. The GM code started. Became a teacher, flipping NFTs, flipping a lot of things. And in June 2022, I realized that flipping and trading was okay. It was quite a moment, but I think the world needs more entrepreneurs, and I think the world needs me, and that's as an entrepreneur to build something that is really powerful, which is changing education. So that's my why, but we're gonna dive into it afterwards. Other than that, my background, pretty simple. Got in business school, was an ex-athlete in snowboard and water skiing, did the world championship in water ski, did a lot of tournaments also in snowboard. When I was a kid, I was a gamer because my dad was a gamer. So I did the French Championship of Magic, the card games. I did the French Championship of Warcraft 3. And also I was the next high athlete in esports, reached to the top five world in with the champion Akali on League of Legends in season 3. And afterwards I quit this to get into Counter-Strike, where I was with my team. We were top 50 in Europe. So that's my background. Nothing fancy, but we built some cool shit. And I like to compete. That's why I like entrepreneur. It's a lot of competition. And although I've created, okay, that's my story. Then we will go into e-com and all business things afterwards.
Okay.
You know, I wanna start with something because I guess I did know that you had a lot of accomplishments and everything, but like hearing it again is making me think like, okay, so this guy actually likes the effort, and you know, usually like Web3 is a lot of like you got to put in effort before you get in anything out of it. So it's great that you're used to this discipline of like putting in efforts before having like this accomplishments, like you know what it is.
Yeah, I compare a lot with gaming and esports because when you start, you're having fun, and you're just having fun. And in the middle of when you think you're good, when you start when you are having fun, you start to understand that you're good and you start to try hard. And it's the same thing in Web3. You jump into it, you make some quick flips, you think you earn money, but in the end you're losing money. So at the beginning it's fun, and in the end you're like, oh, there's so much more potential, and there's this huge gap between the moment you enter and the moment you want to be professional for gaming, aka have a business in Web3. That I think it's pretty similar with this.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. You're right, and I want to get back to something you said really quickly in the beginning. I don't know if we're allowed to dig it or not, but you'll tell me, you know. So you told that in 2011 you came across Bitcoin thanks to the darknet, right?
Yeah.
So I want to know, like, what were you doing in the darknet at the time?
Buying some hash and
Okay.
some weed and resell it at the high school.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I just want to like visualize this process. So like there is a young you.
So
Okay.
let's have the entrepreneur view.
Okay.
Because I did not have this thinking before, but now regarding the entrepreneur view, I realized that retailers were too expensive, so I was finding a way to have a cheaper way to get some products, and to not need to see all those retailers that can be kind of dangerous. You know, they can threat you and all those kind of stuff. So that's how I got introduced into the darknet, and that's how I discovered this and managed to get some product. And you know, and then it's all about selling and getting more clients.
Okay.
But it's not good. It's not ethic, guys.
No, bro. So like big disclaimer, I did that too. You know,
Yeah.
like I'm from Morocco. When I was young, that's what I was. I was like sourcing from like the big city of Morocco, like the north, and like bringing it with like a low cost and selling it in high school and doing this. So I think there is like a pattern here. You know?
Yeah, of course.
So, but wait, let me try to like visualize a young you, like trying to make money. You know, like you're here, you want to make money. Maybe you're smoking or not. So you want to buy weed for you. You want to smoke weed, and you need money to buy weed. Okay, so how like what introduced you to the darknet? Like how did you came across the darknet at the time? You know.
Good question. I think it was. I think so. Yeah, I think I was playing a lot of MMO in 2008, 2009, and I believe. So it was Final Fantasy 11 exactly. It was between 206 and 209, and I was addicted to this game, which taught me a lot in business and selling, reselling, and all those stuff. And I think there was this website that was selling account or selling some digital currency of the game. And it was on the darknet because back in the days it was not legal, I guess.
Okay.
So I think that's how I got introduced to it.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay, so guys, listen well. If you have a kid that is playing a game and want some currency, buy it for him, or he will go to the darknet. Maybe he'll end up a crypto entrepreneur. We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. We
May-
don't know, but also quick story. Was going into the darknet with my father because we were looking for sometimes for some items or some specific maybe accounts or just for fun, you know. So that was fun. So do this with your kids. Do this with your dad, or I don't know. It's for fun. It's funny.
Okay, and so then you are introduced to the darknet. At some point, you know that you can buy for cheap there and sell like for more money in your high school. How much money you made out of it, like in total? If you can say. If not, I understand.
Enough to be able to have enough money to pay the accommodation in Paris because that was my last year of high school. Then I was as a student in Paris because I'm my hometown is in the Alps in France near Switzerland and Italy. So when I knew that I was going to Paris, so I stacked some money. Let's say I think it was around between 10 to 15K, not a lot. You know, but I knew that the rent in Paris was around 800 to 1,000 euros. So I was like, okay, so if I want to live 1 year over there, I will need 12K basically if it's 1,000 the rent. So I was like, okay, there's 3K so I can live, at least have some food. And my parents were paying the study, thankfully. So that's how it worked.
And you never had issues because of it, like because of.
Um, not really. No. I had some issues in the relationship, but not regarding the justice. I
Okay,
was
okay.
pretty smart with this because
That's
not
cool.
gonna tell everything, but I was pretty smart with this.
I get it.
But got huge problems with relationships and all those retailers that I was talking to. So yeah.
Okay. So starting point, darknet. How? Why? Because of like Fantasy. And then 2016, you come back to like Ethereum and the Web3. This time you got more like you got Ethereum, like you buy Ethereum, and you said
Yeah.
that you sold the half in 2017 during the bull run. I was there in 2017. I got wrecked, bro. I've been in the top, and you know I got fucked up. Anyways, I think you had a better play
Thanks.
than me. You had better plays than me. You were smarter, but. You sold the half, and what about the other half? I didn't hear you well.
I kept it because
Oh, okay, okay.
because I think it was so during all this the Final Fantasy thing. You know, there's a lot of buying things at the bottom and selling at the top, and I had no idea about those charts and all those things. But I knew at some point that there was always a bottom when you're buying things, and I understood quickly regarding crypto that there was necessarily a bottom and a top. So that's why in 2016 I was like with a group of nerds, 50 devs I was working as an intern at the mother house of Fnac. For those who knows, it's the big retailer of e-commerce in France. And those devs were telling me about Ethereum, and I knew about Bitcoin. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna buy this because Bitcoin is improving throughout the time. I was like, okay, let's try Ethereum and let's see how it goes. Then 2017 hit. 2017, came up, and people were saying, "Oh, you need to sell everything because it's gonna drop to zero. It's useless." So I was this deja vu with the Bitcoin. I was like, "Shit, this is wrong. You know, this is not a good information. People are saying things because." They are scared, and one thing I learned when people are scared and are overreacting is that because they lack knowledge, they lack a source of information. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna listen to them and sell 50%. So my investment is, I don't lose any money, and then I will just leave the 50% and see how it goes. And eventually in 2021, it became bigger.
Bro, you said that you're gonna drop some alpha, and for me, this is a big alpha. For me, this is a big alpha because I totally 100% understand your feelings at the time. I had the exact same feelings in 2021. Simply because I was wrecked in 2017, 2018, and then whenever 2021 came, same bullshit, same people saying splitting bullshit that didn't have enough data, enough knowledge from previous beer market and bull markets. You know, giving me advices, fucking bullshit advices. So of course, the first one says something, the second one, third, fourth, then your brain begins to think. You know, but when you have this experience from data that you lived emotionally lived before, for me it's priceless, you know.
Yeah.
And you have it, you that enabled you to sell half during 2017 just because of this uncertainty coming from other parties, but you still kept the half. And I think, I'm sure that you didn't have this problem in 2021 because you had like previous data, previous experience, and now you were, even if people were bullshitting you, you were able to be like, nah, but guys, you know, fuck you, you know, right? It's
Yeah,
alright.
but you know what? It's funny you said you're telling me this because despite knowing and the source being yourself, the source of information, because you've made enough study and research to make your own opinion about it. Despite having all that, you still have this part of you who's saying, "Oh, am I making the right move?" Because 99% of the people are like screaming, shouting, "You need to sell, you need to buy," and all this shit. And I understood during this 2022 beer market that people are just it's just a cycle, and it exists since the beginning of dawn of the humanity. Because I've started to research about philosophers such as Socrates, Plato, and all this stuff, and they were saying the same shit, you know. So I'm like, dude, yo, this is just human cycle. And if you want to be stupid and dumb, like 99% of the population, they do it, you know.
That
So
makes
what's that?
sorry. No, sorry. It makes me think that, you, even though you have some knowledge, probably more than others about crypto, when it came down to the fact that, you had to make decisions, you were in doubt. And it makes me think it's the same truth about entrepreneurs, right? Sometimes, or not. And that's why we like to be surrounded with other entrepreneurs,
Yeah.
so that when we're in doubt or when we're facing a difficult situation, we know who to reach out, who has been through it, and who we can trust based on their experience for their feedback. And so I'm thinking like, I'm just correlating right now how like entrepreneurship is kind of close to like crypto investing almost, where like in crypto as well, you want to be surrounded with people who understand and who can like kind of like give you advice like, hey, don't panic right now, you can hold it, or yeah, maybe now you can start scaling out a little bit because you've made profit. People that can give you the right advice, I would say. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's funny what you say because as long as you have this powerful network with people who has uh, like they have the experience in entrepreneurship. And you know what? The main problem of a lot of entrepreneurs is that they don't have mentors. And if I define mentors, it's someone that has more experience and knowledge than you, and then that you can ask questions at any time of the day. And that's what a lot of people are lacking right now. I like this. Back in the day, I thankfully found a lot of entrepreneurs where I can ask questions. So that's cool with it, and that's what the philosopher was saying also. So Aristotle was the mentor of Plato, and Plato was the mentor of Socrates, or the other way around. And then Alexander the Great was born by the mentorship of Plato. So great people are building great people, and that's what I'm saying. Also, losers are building losers. So that's all you need to understand is that surround yourself with some great people, and that's hard. That's really hard because at some point you think that those guys are good, but in the end they are not really good. They don't have this wisdom that you are searching through. So yeah, that's the experience and the human life you need to experience sometimes. And yeah.
You're right, bro. You're right. And so you also said that you did like a business school, right? Like, can you tell
Yeah.
us more about it? Like, What was it?
It's a scam.
Fuck. Fuck.
It's a scam. No, I mean you know, since I'm in the business of education, I had to study all education of all humanity, you know, and education like business schools have been created for pure economical reason, just to give you a bit of a piece of paper which is useless, and that just you're just paying for a piece of paper which is and you're learning nothing, you know. So you are trying to you think you have a master in digital business marketing, but you are learning from people that are outdated in marketing, that are 50 years old plus. I have nothing against old people, but they are outdated regarding digital life, I think, except maybe the best of the best. Other than that, yeah, business school, it was just a way to have a diploma, and at the same time, since we don't have a lot of courses, I was able to play a lot and do my esports career at the same time. So yeah, business school was useless.
So
Yeah.
which one was it? Like which business school was it?
It was EBS Paris, European Business School at Paris, and
EBS Paris. Okay. You,
it's yeah.
I know it. I've done Toulouse Business School in Toulouse.
Okay. Okay.
And you've done like the license program, bachelor.
Master, I don't know how you call it. In
Yeah,
English.
master.
It's master
Okay, okay, okay.
program.
Master. And you went,
Yeah.
you went the full 5 years.
Yes.
Okay. And what was like the specialty of your master?
Digital business and marketing. And the thing that was cool with this school is that we had all courses in English. So
Okay.
that was what I was looking for, because thanks to my parents, they introduced me in English and in a bilingual school since I started school. So
Okay.
so yeah, I like to keep my English on point and to not be rusty with it. And yeah.
Okay, so it's very interesting because so you did like a master in digital marketing and you also did ecom. Does
Yeah.
your master in digital marketing helped you with ecom or not at all?
No, because I did my two first years in Paris, and my third year was a seizure. So you needed to go abroad, and I said, fuck that shit. I don't want to go abroad to have fun. Just want to to start building some cool shit. And eventually, I've built a French love shop e-commerce,
Okay.
love shop, sex shop, so
Ooh,
whatever you
bro,
want to
bro,
call
bro,
it.
we have something in common here. We have again the second pattern.
Yeah, and it's still working right now, but I had to sell my parts because I had unfortunately a cancer right afterwards, so I was not able to be here with the development of the company. So yeah, that's life, and it's I think it was a good thing. I learned a lot, and cancer helped me a lot to learn a lot about life and understanding quickly things in life that people are not understanding throughout their lives. So that's cool, that's cool. And I managed to, after the cancer, since I had a seizure and I could not go into my fourth year of business school. I had a seizure when I learned some web development.
Okay.
So HTML, CSS, PHP, JS, sorry.
Oh,
So
JavaScript. That's cool. That's cool. So you
Yeah.
know how to code now? Like,
Yeah, I think I know how to code, but I especially know how to read it.
Ah.
So I can understand what the coders are saying,
And
basically.
why you did it?
Just to understand, I like to understand the source of how a digital world has been built. So it was mainly to understand how everything is built. It's my nature, I like I'm super curious, and when I'm doing something, I like to understand the root of the thing. It's like all the economical things, I like to understand how economy was built, how it was created, how it's navigating, and that's the same thing for code. I think if you're in a digital life, you need to understand how code is working, how servers are working, how the internet is working, and all this shit.
Okay. And then you discovered. So it's very interesting that for you, business school didn't like help in your career. I would say for me neither. I have a master degree in equity research, and financial
I
investment.
don't remember.
Sorry? See, I don't even remember. Equity, yeah, equity research and financial investment. And honestly, it didn't taught me in terms of hard skill. Like I don't use the hard skill because the hard skill are like financial, like it's if you work in like the stock market or shit like that, then it can help. But it taught me like soft skill, when it comes to like communication, when it comes to like then after that I worked and I guess it gave me some structure in my way of working right now, even if in terms of hard skill I don't use anything. But anyways, then you discovered smart contracts and believed in the tech. So what make you, because it's very interesting, last week with the pod with David, he said the same thing. Like he saw crypto kitties and he saw the smart contract of crypto kitties and he was like wow. And what make you have this wow effect when it comes to like seeing a smart contract?
It's just a technology that is approving two transaction between two bad humans. So the technology is human, it's neutral, sorry, in terms of emotions, and it can solve the transaction of an individual A and an individual B. So that's the main reason about it. It's just that's why I'm so bullish also with AI. It's because the middleman is no longer a human that has some bad intention or will have some intention only for them. It's just the intention of a technological contract
Okay.
or a virtual assistant. I understand that you can have the builder of the smart contract or the owner of the AI can have some financial interest and so interest regarding the transaction, but it's on the paper it's neutral and it's with zero emotions.
David, did you have the same feedback when you felt like the smart contract technology?
Yeah, for me it was kind of the same thing. It's like you can have money in the bank, but the transfer will get stopped, and then they'll start questioning you, why are you, or even you can receive money and they can asking you why you received money, and it's like what? Like it's a problem when there's money. It's a problem when there's no money. It's like it's like money's just they just make it a problem for you, right? Where it shouldn't even be a problem. It helps you, like do things and stuff. And so yeah, when I saw smart contracts, I'm like, great. You can make transactions, and there's not someone that's gonna have like career advancement or specific rules to follow or things like that. And the only you're the sole custody of your funds, right? And that was really like a light bulb in my head personally. Yeah, for sure.
Did you have like problems before with banks like asking you about money, like where it comes from, or you...
I personally haven't had money problems of where it comes from. I more had problems where like, hey, where is the money at? And, no, and I'm glad that but see that was already like making me question. But then I also talked to entrepreneurs or things like that. Like for example, let's say you want to cash out a lot of crypto right now,
Yeah.
right? Like if you just send like money to your bank, they're gonna be like, wait, you bought some kind of dog coin and you're telling me that you're cashing out now? Like no, they're gonna block it, right? And you're gonna have to justify it. Sometimes there's no way to justify your crypto gains. Like it's just like, I mean, sure you can show a transaction, but it can be also like unless the banker's not gonna go on Ether scan themselves and like verify the authenticity of it. And so yeah, I just yeah, I think I'm actually in my as who I am as a person, I'm just a little bit you know those people that I'm not fully in society. I'm a little bit around it, right? So that's why also crypto was very good for me because it allowed me actually to be myself, work with the people I want, do the things that I want, and still earn money without being like having problems with any regulation.
A real outsider.
Uh,
Yeah, I sold the weed too when I was a teen.
That's a pattern, guys. I told you, if your child is selling weed and he's a teen, you can bring him in the pod. You know, like, and we will create a podcast called "How You Will Become a Future Crypto Entrepreneur." But but anyways, so very interesting. Honestly, I didn't have this click when I saw smart contracts. You know, basically what made me fall for crypto was more like Bitcoin, the blockchain, just understanding that you can send money peer to peer. And for me, it was like, wow, you know, because I come from Morocco, bro. In Morocco, you cannot send money to Europe. You know, you can, but you have like a limitation. You cannot.
Yeah, there's
Western Union.
Yeah. Western, you need to go there, have your ID. If you have a picture of the ID, they say no, 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 go back home, go. You know,
give you problems. They give you problems.
you know, and you're like, no, it's me, bro. Like look, he's like, no, 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 no. But and same, like if you want to do e-com in Morocco, like before, now it's like easier, but before it's like you cannot have a Stripe account, you cannot have a Revolut, you cannot have a Wise, you cannot have a company that is like, you know, outside or something. But anyways, then okay, then degen flipping. Oro, how long did it took you to go from like seeing this smart contract and being a believer to degen flip, NFTs, crypto, whatever? So what were you flipping? So yeah, how long it took you, and then what were you flipping?
Bro, not gonna lie, it was from October 2021 to March 2022. Yo. It's only 5 months. I'm not 5 months on the timeline, but it looks like it was 2 years.
Yeah.
So you know how Web3 one day is equal to 1 month, like they say in Web3, and it's actually true because during the meta of the grinding session in Discord, it was like I was having a reminder every 15 minutes on my phone to wake up at the middle of the night to just farm Discord for the whitelist. Mint it at 0.2, sell it at 0.25, and that's it. You know, it was just rug project, and I got rugged. I played the game at the beginning, and I understood that the flip was only a matter of like 30 seconds. You know.
Yeah.
Because people who were not holding, I understand quickly that people who were not holding the whitelist, they wanted it because the hype was really, 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 like the euphoria and the hype was. I've never seen this actually. The craziness of the humanity is crazy. And I feel bad sometimes, but you know, money is money. You need to win over other people. And so yeah, flipping, made some mistakes, and in the end, it was literally 95% profit on any investment. So I was minting or even buying in the secondary, flipping right away for 0.05 ETH, and back in the days, 0.05 ETH was like 100 euros. So you were making days with. We were cashing like maybe 5 ETH with taking no risk, so that was easy, you know.
Fuck, man.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine, like,
Hey, give me my money back.
he took it from us. I found you. I found you. You were the one that was selling to me, bro.
I'm not the creator who worked. I was just a flipper back in the days. And
You were flipping me.
yeah, but I made some mistakes. I also tried to believe to some founders, like those guys were fucking good and genius in persuasion and all those kind of things, because I'm not easy to get cashed. But yeah, I've got work from some projects, and that made me a promise to myself. I will never invest like a long-term investment if I don't know personally and in real life the founder. And that's the tip for everyone, guys. If you want to have an alpha project, if you want to have an investment long term regarding a strategy, then make sure to know the founder in real life.
Yeah, and also via this pod, for example, you know, like Oro, you have a project, and now you know they can learn about you, and you know if they like what you are, you know, your vibe and you know your seriousness in work, then it's more than okay to like get involved with a project compared to like getting involved with a project where the founder is not doxxed. He never goes to spaces. There's like we don't know his face. We don't know like bro. Like of course you're gonna get fucked up. Like, that's obvious. But okay, so degen flipping as fuck. Basically, but how? So you were screening the projects that that you thought they would be interesting to like buy and flip. But what was your screening filter? Like how you found those ones?
Twitter. Twitter was the main thing. I also had this group of people. They are still They are still here, by the way, but they are not doing bad things. We were sharing some information, and wait, how did I found it? Because I've discovered. Because I've discovered and mint Azuki back in the days.
Azuki, bro, you minted Azuki.
Yes, 2 ETH mint. I think it was 2.2 ETH or 2 ETH. I don't remember.
What was the flip?
Price. And what's that? The flip was at 6 ETH. And
Fuck.
it went, I think 15, top 15 or something like this. And that's life, you know. I was like, okay. And I was like, I will sell. My strategy was to sell if it's going to 4 ETH because the anime art was outstanding back in the days.
Yeah.
And so I was like, this shit is gonna go really, really. They invest a lot of money. I did my research, so I understood that it was a serious project. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna sell it if it reach 3.7. I think it was ETH because it was 75% profit. So I was like, okay. And then I woke up the next day. It was 6 ETH. I was like, shit. Just gonna sell this because at one point it's gonna drop, and in the end it did not drop. It just skyrocketed into, I think it was 15 ETH. I need to check it.
How much profit?
4 ETH. So I did plus 400%.
So in dollar value.
Yeah.
How much? Can you repeat? 6,000.
Oh no. Wait, in dollars. Sorry.
Yeah.
So 6 ETH back in the days. 6 times 4, $24,000.
24. Let's get rid of the two ETH that you put.
Yeah, 2 ETH. It's minus 8,000, so it's
$16,000 in one day flipping a fucking JPEG. Are you kidding me, bro?
The NFT bull run has no fucking sense.
That's a year salary for a fucking guy going out from a business school in France, like myself. Like stuff just running 5 years. I was getting paid what you made in one flip of a JPEG, bro.
Yeah. And the fun fact, it was during the how do we say this in English? It's not lockdowns, but remember in France we had to stay at home after 7 p.m. or 6 p.m. or something like that.
Yeah, I was there.
And the US were doing the same, and all those influencers and stars were like just flipping and flexing things. So that was one of my framework. I was trying to follow all those Justin Biebers when I heard that he was buying some Bored Ape, and I was like, okay, so what those guys I was scanning the wallet, and I was like, what those guys can fucking buy, and it did nothing because they didn't bought a lot of things, but that was one of my frameworks back in the days, and I wanted to just study those guys who had a lot of money and were crazy enough to just throw some 100,000 on the JPEG. So yeah.
Man, you remind me the good old days, bro. Like fuck. That's
Did you guys?
Yeah.
Did you guys have? It was in October, I think, or October 2021, I think. The ENS airdrop.
I didn't got it. No.
No.
Okay. So I got lucky. I got blessed. Just bought a domain like a couple weeks earlier. For like, I don't know, whatever it was worth, probably 0.1 or something, let's say. So ETH was high at that time. It was probably like 250 or 300 euros to get a $3 in dollars or euros, whatever. And then like the month after that, I got airdropped like 12K.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Free money.
So free money.
12K
Free money, baby.
Bro, honestly, I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
My mom was here in vacation, and I got to get her one of the really nice hotels. Like I'm like, all right, you're going to the 5-star one.
Bro, like I'm wondering if someone from this like listening to this podcast is gonna be like from the normal world, not linked to Web3, hearing that people were receiving $12,000 for free in their wallets just because they bought something like a long time ago, how they would feel.
But oh, go for it, David.
I'm sorry, but that's where I love Web3. It's such a paradigm shift because it's not in protocol that's like, or the protocol, the company, right? That's like cashing out everything. It's giving back to the early users, the early adopters, and how to thank them for having made this possible for them. And I love the paradigm shift in Web3.
Bro, I agree. But can you imagine, like for us, it's normal, because we're in the ecosystem and shit. But like, imagine you're a guy, newbie, like normie from like the normal world, hearing that one guy got 12K from an airdrop for free, like it was sent to him, to his wallet, without no question. Another.
Because I had one name. If you had multiple names, you were getting more.
The other one, he had like 16K in like one day, pure profit, just because he was selling and buying JPEGs. Wow. Bro, honestly, if I were in their shoes, I would feel bad, like I would be like, fuck, man, I missed my life. There's something here I don't understand. But of course...
There's always opportunities, so you haven't missed anything.
That's exactly what I say to myself, I'm like, money is here, I just need to find it, Like, money is there.
It's just the money is always here, but you need to understand where the money is going, Right now, the money is not on the NFTs. It's somewhere else, And there's always a trend regarding the headlines and the social media's topics. So that's where the money is right now. You just need to find this information. And that's what we provide also on the Discord of our community Discord. We try to give some information before anyone else, and also be smart with what you're doing, and be smart with what you're doing, controlling your mind, don't be crazy with money, because I was crazy back in the last bull run, when you think about it, you're just flipping some 0.7 ETH or 1.5 ETH, and you're like, oh, it's nothing. But when you're looking the amount in fiat, it's like, oh shit, this shit is real, So that's where I got crazy in money. So you always need to be calm, understand that the money is only a big shoot of dopamine, and you need to control it.
Bro, you're right, and me and David had the same experience. Like, not even get into that. But it's a big shoot of dopamine. We made a lot, but we also lost a lot. Yeah.
It made me lose sense of. I mean, I was aware that I was blessed and lucky, but I got arrogant and I was not humble, and the market made me humble.
I think it made a lot of people humble.
Bro, I think it humbled all of us, man. Like, whenever you're too arrogant, then you get humble. I come from finance, so I understand the markets more or less, but I was humble too, man. And that's the game, you learn from it. As soon as you're not dead, then you can just keep going. But okay.
One thing he said, though, that's, my bad, unhealthy, but he did say, hey, there's always opportunity. You just got to understand where the liquidity is, and like tap into it. And that's there's and anyone can have their ways of finding that, like, and also I'm thinking how much in crypto or in entrepreneurship, that's true, but whether you're in Web3 or web regular or anything, but yeah, even if you're not, you don't have to be a dev to understand like where the liquidity is. You can also be good at feeling the trends and doing your research on Twitter or in communities. I personally prefer to refer to Etherscan and blockchain data, but that's because it's my skill set. Now, I've also had great alpha basically from following the right people on Twitter.
Also communities, like Oro has his community. He's telling you where is the money. He has the experience from 2011. I think you're the first one that I've heard and used Bitcoin since 2011. So you definitely have some data that is very rare because you cannot buy it. Like you cannot fake it. You've been there, you lived it, you've been emotionally involved, and if you guys want to benefit from it, you can go in his Discord, be in his community, and you will be able to benefit from this specific skill set that is you can't find anywhere, or you can only do with time. But then good luck to like spend 10 years in the
it's
ecosystem.
it's changing the way of thinking, because currently on our society you have so much dopamine hit. So regarding social medias, music, food, movies, gaming, and sugar, and all those addiction that the society wants you to be addicted to. And regarding all those businesses, so social media, gaming, videos, music, they hire some psychologists, some professional psychologists to make you addicted. Oh, I think the call is finishing, right? So we
Yeah,
have to move on the other call.
there is a new link sent in a DM
Yeah.
of the.
Yes. I'll go to the other call.
Can help on this one.
Welcome back.
Yeah, sorry, bro. We are not rich enough to buy to buy a subscription with Google. Yeah, next bull run, next bull. We next
It's
bull
fine.
run.
It's fine. It's fine. So what I was saying was the following: is that so the society is just controlling you by using your neurotransmitter such as dopamine in your brain, so that you cannot think properly. So that's the same thing. Why I was saying this? Yes, I was saying this with the narrative that happens right now, with the headlines, which is the fancy things regarding CZ of Binance that is moving out of Binance, and there's Sam Altman that is moving out of OpenAI, but finally he's getting back into Microsoft and all those kind of stuff. But the thing I'm trying to teach to the community of Minder is to not look those headlines and to understand what are the big institutions doing while there are those big noise on the medias and on the timelines. You need to understand, if you want to win, that the institutions are making them move somewhere else to cover up all this, or to not make too much noise regarding some Altman and CZ that are doing all this media thing. So, and right now, I think I understand what they are trying to do, because the narrative is controlled by a lot of big institutions and hedge funds. I'm not going to name them, but you know the name. So that's why I always look them and what they are doing regarding the headlines. And David is an interesting profile, because he's looking on Etherscan, and I'm looking on the timeline and understand and telling myself, okay, what move can I do that is covered by all the noise. And that's why you have the initiative and you have the advantage amongst 99% of people, because when the institution are buying, it's here, and you can catch them at the chart right here, and then the noise from the institution is going, and it's too late because it's already at the top. So that's one of the framework I'm using when there's a big news like this.
I get it. I get it. And I'm wondering, like, how did you went from flipping, trading, making money out of the Web3 ecosystem to like becoming an entrepreneur? I mean, like when you're trading, you're an entrepreneur already because you are working for yourself. But like becoming a builder in the ecosystem, creating your own project, and like how did you go?
Simple question, a simple answer. I was indoctrinated by education, and I promised like to my family to have a diploma and to do a first experience in a Web2 job. That I hated it, and I think I was always designed to create and build and build and build and build and build new things. That's all I did all my life. But I was the nice kid, and I just said to my family, okay, I'm just gonna get this diploma, get 2-3 years in a Web2 agency. I think it was worth it. And when I started flipping NFT, I was like, shit, I'm just winning more money that I'm used to win in 1 year of salary. So I was like, okay, it's time to quit. And I realized quickly enough that, and I quit June 2022. So it was the beer market, the beginning of the beer market. And I figured out really quickly during the summer of 2022 that I needed to build something, and I actually wanted to build something around education. So I quickly understood that I need something sustainable to live every day, you know. So I had always this mindset of building and creating and being innovative, and in 2022 I wanted to make this happen in full time.
Okay. Okay, it's very interesting because you launched your NFT project during the beer market. I know how hard it is because I launched mine in like the end of the bull run, you know, like around March. But yours
Yeah,
was like in June, like really, it was
yeah.
the ecosystem was
And we
wrecked.
launched we launched it in April 2023, so it was worst. We
Bro,
just
you know, like
project and
so.
this year, yeah.
So I want to have your feedback on how hard, because I know that it was very hard, was it to build an NFT project during those circumstances? And I'm asking this question because I know how timing is important in Web3, you know. So tell us about it.
All right. So the thing during this beer market, what was really cool is that you could have access to people that were not supposed to be accessible back in the ballroom. So when I say people that are accessible, it can be Farouk, it can be Gary V, it can be all those big dudes, you know. So that was cool during the beer market because you have some genuine network and some genuine, yeah, some genuine web network with people that are really believing in Web3. And the community building was the only thing remaining during this beer market. And we had this project we had this NFT project to launch for so long time, but we had some issues regarding the team. Some people gave up the credit to beer. And with my co-founder, we literally we are not those kind of guys who are saying, okay, we have to give up. So let's go to the end. And I knew in my inner mind, in my inner voice, it was a fail. But I wanted to go till the end to understand the whole ecosystem on how to build an NFT project, like from the building part, the artistic part, the marketing part, the collab part, the paid marketing part, the influences, all those kind of things. I experienced it, and I think as a marketer, like my core skill is marketing. I think is to understand all those processes by facing them. So so eventually it did not work out. We of course, like every founder, you want to sold out, but it didn't happen. But you learn shit ton lot. You learn so much. Like the books I've read about marketing, like I think it's the book of Amanda Gassat. It's not saying everything because she did not experience the trench of Web3. She experienced the beginning of Web3, like the first ICOs and all those kind of stuff. But she has no skills in community building and how to nurture a community, how to give some low list, some white list, depending on what you need, what you want, and also understanding your target audience. And it's not the target audience like that marketing Web2 is. Uh, it's more about niching some. It's a different niche that you need to understand. It's harder than marketing Web3, but it's so much fun to market Web3. So I hope I answered the question.
Yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah. And when it comes to marketing, what was the hardest thing that you had to overcome?
traction, keep traction throughout. You know, it's a long process when you're community building. So there's two ways. So it's the same thing in Web2. You have to always two ways to get traction. First of all, you need to recruit to get people to know you. And secondly, the people who subscribe, sign in, opt in, anything that when you have this lead, you need to nurture him. You need to animate him. And it's not by it's not like in Web2 where you can send a series of mailing and have like an automation and a scenario of 20 mails and regarding of what he's doing, he might buy, he might not buy. It's more like you need to animate this Discord. You need to be here as a founder, create some calls, create some genuine network and interaction with your core community. And I'm saying this because the Web3 marketing created those three level of different tiers in community, like tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, which I represent them in funnel marketing. And we need to understand those kind of things. We need to understand that the community that you have on Twitter is not a real community, and same thing for Discord. Therefore, if you want to nurture your community, we have to make some private call and get to know them, and in order to have a strong community.
Okay, and I respected that because I was talking with, like Luke, my friend who was working with you when it comes to 1000 True Fan, and he was explaining me how you nurtured your community, like how specific you were with everyone that wanted to like come in your community. You had a one-on-one discussion with them. You had sometimes like spaces, calls, and this is really really key. But do you think you can scale that? Because on a large scale,
Do you think that what?
you can scale
Sorry?
this process, scale it.
Oh yeah, of course. So remember that when I was talking with Luke, I had this spreadsheet, and I literally had a lot of private information regarding all the community things. So it's interesting because it's a human thing when you remember something specifically on the human being, and the human being will automatically be happy with this. He will be like he will naturally like you because his brain is telling him, oh, he remembers something like on me, so I care about him. And back in the days it was not scalable, but today with automation and having GPT as such a high level right now, you can talk to your spreadsheet and you can understand what they want, what they don't want, so that's more scalable today. But
Okay.
back in the days, it was a huge spreadsheet with data all over the place, and yeah, that was not scalable back in the days.
I get it. Okay. And so now, what's your plans when it comes to Web3? Like, how do you see yourself in the future of Web3? And in which field do you want to be evolving?
I'm no longer this guy who is an actor of the Web3 now. I want to be a builder, and I want to dictate the Web3 space. I don't want to be reliable of some project or flip anything, because that's not my ethic. I want to help a lot of people to get educated, and that's why my next good move is to be in a Web3 entrepreneur, is to be a builder and a founder that is focused into a community, because my co-founder is more focused into a product building, and I'm delegating as the time goes. And yeah, I think I need to be present as a speaker for the voice of Web3, because I have some opinion that are not mainstream and that are not manipulative or speculative, like all influencers are telling. So that's the future. Be a builder, be a creator, because if you think properly, the one that are the most wealthy are the one who create. That's it. Think about it. The oil companies, the water companies, those who are making the most money are not the retailers, it's the builders from the source. That's why I love to be a builder from the source.
Bro, I'm 100% agree with you. And which field do you think is gonna be pumping in like the next bull run? Like when it's because right now, bro, we have BRC20, ordinals, doginals, NFTs on Ethereum, on Arbitrum, on Solana, Polygon. So when it comes to you, what would be your biggest play? Maybe gaming. I don't know.
Well, that's what I was going to tell. The narrative is telling that the gaming is going to be a huge thing,
Okay.
But I always tell myself, and I always trigger my mind to tell, the mainstream thing is not going to be the thing. So, but it's going to be something related to the mainstream thing.
Okay.
So my take is the following: it's the gaming thing, but it's not a game. the gaming thing is to have the okay. So 99% of the population like to play when they are doing something. So my point is the following: when you are learning something, people want to learn. Let's have an example with Duolingo. They are making fun things to make people not think that it's boring to learn, and they want to have fun when they are learning. Well, it's a Web2 thing, but the narrative and the habits of the consumers are improving likewise. They have a low attention span, and they want to just have fun when they are doing something boring. Because with AI, with the phone that you have, all the information that you have that is coming to you, that you have to do zero effort. So if you want to do a micro effort, you're gonna need to have fun. Otherwise, you will have no one to your project or your business. That's my take around this. So whenever you want to build something, whenever you see a project that wants to gamify it, I don't know, it could be insurance, maybe make it fun, because insurance is boring as fuck. I had a client which was a top insurance in France. Cannot say who it is because NDA, but it's boring. It's boring as fuck, and we want to have something fun, and people will use your product by having something fun, you know. So that's what I'm expecting, and I think a lot of new businesses will come out with the fact that it's being fun, maybe some artistic thing, and yeah, and a good tech behind it.
Honestly, yeah, go ahead, David. Sorry.
I'm thinking, you know, he's reminding me fun. I like in NFTs, or I know like this is not necessarily everything that we're talking about, but like in crypto, I mean, when I'm having fun, usually, how to explain it? It's there's liquidity. Like when you're having fun, it brings other people, right? And like other people start to have fun, and it's actually creating liquidity in that ecosystem.
Yeah,
You're right.
and also quick stats. Quick stats, because it's 75% of people who are aged below 23 years old, I believe, prefer to have one Bitcoin than a Rolex. So that means that the future of our population are willing to invest more in digital assets rather than physical assets. So that's interesting to keep in mind, and to always know that you have this information. You know that the population that is younger than us, I don't know how old are you, Elsie, but I'm 29, and I know that people who are 5 years younger than me, that they are more interested into having digital assets rather than those physical assets. And that's the same thing with the skins in CS:GO and LoL and League of Legends. People, I like to have skins, and you can flex with it. You can flex through to a billion of people around the world, rather than just flexing with your Rolex to your family, friends, and you cannot go out because you will get your Rolex stolen. So you know that's the mindset to have for the future
And it's
as an
even,
entrepreneur.
yeah, it's even more cool, you know, because a Rolex, everyone can have it. You know, you just put your money and you know, you go to the jewelry store and you buy the fucking Rolex. You know, but when it comes to like an NFT, a profile picture, a skin in a game or something, then really you wanna, like, you are famous because of it in your ecosystem. You know. And that's the most important, you know. It's like people that are putting like all Gucci clothes, like, that's cool, but I'd rather have a D-God than, you know, have like a Rolex. Simple.
Honestly, same. Honestly, same. Fuck yeah.
You know, so I think for me it would bring more flex. You know, the branding for me is like even better. But okay, so when it comes to big plays, like as a builder, I would say that during the next bull run, BRC20 will have a lot of traction, simply because there is a low liquidity right now there, and people will be bringing liquidity, which will pump all the prices. Same for DRC20. Think about it as ERC20 and BIP20, so like the Ethereum blockchain coins there, meme coins, and the Binance blockchain meme coins. For me, that can be like a nice play if you are like a small portfolio and willing to take a lot of risks with a high reward. David made some money there with, I would say, randomly right there. Like he was just playing around and then he ended up like making some bags. But
Well, honestly, randomly, no, I flared it because I was early in ordinals and I saw how being technical was required and able to do certain things. And I felt the same way for DRC20. I felt like, okay, it's very technical for now, but so the builders right now are kind of like inscribing everything. But as more as the ecosystem gets more built, basically it's going to onboard more people, and yeah, that brings opportunities, right? I mean, basically, I took a bet on the ecosystem, right? And because I felt like it was a bet with good odds because Dogecoin has a lot of like potential in terms of meme, in terms of like it's still around. Elon Musk loves it. I think he's actually gonna like launch like Doge One with SpaceX, which I'm not too sure what it is. I have to research into it, but like I gotta, you know, Doge is a good meme coin.
I'm curious, David. Since let's not talk about money, let's talk about tech. How bullish are you with the tech of BRC20?
On BRC20?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I faded BRC20. I was early in ordinals with inscribing the Bitcoin punks.
Yeah.
But when I saw BRC20, I was just like, I don't know what it is. I'm just gonna. The fees are. I mean, I also was at a time where financially, like, I hadn't had work in a while, and I was just trying to be careful, and so I wasn't trying to inscribe everything because I've lost a lot of money on NFTs before and things like that. So I was being careful. Completely faded BRC20. It's fine, I'm pretty bullish on it, to be honest. I am. Even though I still don't hold any BRC20 tokens, I still have my Bitcoin punks though, because yeah, they're low inscription numbers, so I'm very bullish on them.
Okay.
I'll bring my bags here.
Great.
And it was also pretty fair, because bro, like it's not like other ecosystems where you need to buy from the founder. Here you needed to inscribe yourself, so you needed to put your kind of computing effort in order to make the project happen. And then if you make money out of it, it's not like a founder that is receiving the funds, or like receiving the fees or something like that. It's really the community that was, growing the ecosystem in itself. It's like Bitmap at the end, I don't know if you heard about Bitmap, but it's basically like a metaverse built on the Bitcoin blockchain. Bro, I've inscribed a ton, maybe 300 bitmaps, something like that, And I was not giving money to nobody, so I was okay with losing my money. Because if I lost it, then it means that the market was kind of not getting this traction, and no one benefited from me losing my money. While in other ecosystems like Ethereum or like Binance blockchain, whenever you launch like a meme coin, a shit coin, or something, usually when you lose money, it means that the founder also benefited from the loss, I'd say, But and there is also this kind of mindset in crypto that the founder shouldn't make money. I don't understand that, because if a founder is not making money building the ecosystem, he's gonna build somewhere else, So
the narrative of the founder, he has to be in the middle of the community, giving all his wealth to the community, and just sleep under a bridge.
Yeah. Look, honestly, look, guys, look at our profile. Like you, Oro, you have an incredible profile. You have you went to a business school. You did econ. You worked in an agency. You've been flipping NFTs. So if you don't make money building a project, you have like a lot of ways to make money elsewhere, and you would be more incentivized to go do something else somewhere else and provide some value instead of putting it and contributing to the Web3 ecosystem. David, same for you. You are a very skilled dev. You've built projects. You've been amazing in Web2, and you helped a school to get implemented in Portugal. If you don't make money in Web3, then why the fuck would you be in Web3? It's fun, okay, but you need to eat. And same for me, I was working in finance before. I have a master's degree. I did some shit. So why would I be here if I'm not making money? What's the point?
You know what I'm comparing it to, because I like to compare with historical data that we had during humanity. And when when we are looking at Web3, I call it the digital exploration. What I mean is the following: is that back in the days where our ancestors were exploring the world,
Yeah.
getting a ship and just go to the American continent, they were not sure what's going to happen over here, but they were just sailing and hoping for some Earth to be here and to find some resources, and then they made all this trading things between each other, you know. So that's the same thing, you know. You're just doing this digital exploration. You see how it goes. You see how the market feel. Maybe they will not like this, but maybe they will like something else, and that's how the story are created, you know.
You know, I love the story you just told, and it made me think that, you know, we're doing this digital exploration, and like you said, we need exploring, and we're trying to tap into the liquidity. and what were the explorers doing when they went? The queen sent them to find gold, right? Probably.
Yeah.
So they were trying to tap into that liquidity.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
That is the thing. But we are lucky, guys, because in the old days, the downside of like not getting what you want was that you risk your life. Like you may be dead exploring some other countries. Here, nowadays, the downside is to lose all your money. You know, it's not as dangerous as getting. I'd be broke than be dead. You know? So for me, the risk is not that risky. You know, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And the rewards aren't the same as well, because you get to reap your rewards.
Exactly. So the risk is like.
But it's the same thing, you know. As long as you have some information, you know that the gold were basically in Mexico, then people are heading here, and that's how Hernan Cortes got some gold, and that's how Spain got rich, you know, because they had this information around this. So that's the whole thing about getting this research and getting this narrative, and you know. You are exploring, but you're exploring to get some money, and you're not sure if it's going to work or if it's not going to work. And that's the same thing in Web3. You're not sure if it's going to work or if it's not going to work, but you're gathering this data set and this knowledge to have this 99% of it's going to work, you know.
And I want to just join Past again when you said, like, you know, that's how Spain got rich, is because they had information, they had knowledge, and that's also like how you need to kind of go into it in Web3 or entrepreneurship. And you need to, if you can have some insider information or some information a little bit more than someone else, you have an advantage, right? And so and that brings us also back, you know, to your community. So it's the Minder community, right?
Yeah.
And like your project about like learning, and like, so can you I don't believe you told us much, if you can tell us a little bit more about, you know, if you can give us a quick elevator pitch on that project. And
Sure. So quick story. So as we mentioned during this podcast, I didn't like study because I got forced to it. I didn't want to go to school because there was some orders in the school that like you need to sit and listen to a teacher for 1 hour. And you know, regarding when I look back at my education, it was all about being forced to do things that I did not want to learn. So that's how the project emerged, and I want to to help the community to learn, to first of all know who they are, in order that they can find their own curriculum to learn what they want and learn what the market needs. So to find this intersection between those things, and that's how Web3 is perfect, because it's all about community, and that's how the Minder project was born. Is to basically help people to find their own path and to learn things that the schools are not learning, such as AI and Web3 in an updated way. So the thing is, we are currently we have a better version of an educational platform where basically we are gathering content creators that are uploading some updated content. And the thing is, since that more and more people are buying from their favorite influencers, it's 70% of the people that are buying because of the influencers rather than the brand. So when you think about that, I want to bring content creators to be the next teachers. I want them to what they research and what they post on the social medias for free. I want them to be able to upload it in a free or paid version on an educational platform. So that's the first step, and then the end goal is to have this to be really fast, this TikTok of education where you can scroll and learn at the same time. And then if you want to, you can subscribe to an influencer and have like an OnlyFans, but not for pornography, but it's more for education. So in two sentences, that's the project.
So it's all about like getting an edge on information that you're interested in.
Yes, and if I don't like to say this, but it's more also to be able to Uberize the content creators, because there are so many people that are doing content creation. So right now we have 200 million people who are doing content creators, and in 2021 it was only 51 million. So you can see that there's a huge increase of content creators, but there's also a huge increase of people who are doing this for free, because it's only few people that are getting really paid and can live by content creation, and I want to help them to be able to make a living by doing content creation.
Awesome.
I like it.
Yeah.
Honestly, I like it. I think the UI is gonna be very important when it comes to like your product. Have you thought about the UI yet, or is it like something?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course, my co-founder has a 10 years experience in UI UX, so he's focused into this, and I've missioned him to tell him to basically he needs to cover all the difficult and complex tech that the Web3 is implementing. The goal is to have this Web3 app and platform in order that any normies can understand what he's doing, but also all the Web3 nerds that still don't understand all those experiments, that it's so easy, that it's so actually fun to use it.
I get it. Honestly, and what's the product that you have currently there, like within your community?
It's right now. What's live?
Yeah.
It's a net platform. You can just, if you want to, you and Alfie, you can upload the content that you want to share, and then you can share it to your audience. So the thing is, what it will look like, how it actually looks like. You can learn from AI stuff or Web3 stuff, but it's updated things. Like it's trendy things that you will not necessarily find on the social media timelines, but you will not find also into training. And the format is that we want is to make it short, because as I told you, the attention span is really low, and I wanted to make a format that is in under 10 minutes, so that whenever someone is going into the bus, public transportation, basically, he can just take a course, 5 minutes, and that's it, you know. So that's the whole point of it. But one thing at a time, and that's the number one rule in entrepreneurship. Don't get soaked into your ideas. Just do one thing at a time. And regarding how the market reacts, you need to adapt them quick.
Definitely, brother. I think we've covered everything. I don't know if you guys wanna add something. David, do you have any more questions?
Man, that's cool.
What about you, Oro? Is there so yeah, where we can find you, where we can find your project?
Project. It's well, I can send you the links, because you cannot. Well, you know what? Twitter at @O_reminder ORO_MI and DER. You can follow me, and you will have everything inside it. So as you know the Web3 markets don't like to get sold. So I'm not showing the platform to anyone. It's more like a funnel marketing. So if you go to my Twitter or the Twitter of Minder, you can see that there's a Discord, and in this Discord you will have the links where you can have the educational platform, the website, and all this shit. Because I literally don't want to sell anything on Twitter, because on Twitter you cannot sell anything.
I get it. I get it. Thank you very much, brother. Thank you for your time. Thank you for the alpha. Your profile is like amazing. I think for me, the biggest thing that you should remember from this pod is sell weed when you are a teen.
But there's a real study regarding this, is that the most successful entrepreneurs had three backgrounds.
Okay.
Number one, selling drugs. Number two, being a professional athlete. Number three, coming from the military section. And that's the three backgrounds where you can be a successful entrepreneur, because you need to have those solid mental mindsets that not a lot of people can acquire.
So if you have all three, you're like super filled.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, brother. We're gonna meet soon, Ariel. Can't wait to meet with you. Let me stop the recording, and then we can talk.